right. Thank you, Ian. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Richmond. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Let's give them a big hand. I am Armand Leek. I'm your board chair, and I'm going to be your platform person for today. We got a real exciting day planned for everyone. So we're going to go ahead and start with our opening prayer. This morning, it is a Buddhist prayer for peace. May all beings everywhere plagued with sufferings of body and mind quickly be freed from their illnesses. May those frightened cease to be afraid, and may those bound be free. May the powerless find power, and may people think of befriending one another. May those who find themselves in trackless, fearful wildernesses, the children, the aged, the unprotected, be guarded by beneficent celestials, and may they swiftly attain Buddhahood. Amen. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and repeat the unity principle. There is one presence and one power in the universe, and in my life, God the good, yes. And let's go ahead with our diversity statement. Unity of Richmond is a safe and welcoming spiritual home that stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion for all people, including but not limited to color, age, ability, gender expression, culture, socioeconomic status, sexual orientation, and belief. Thank you. All right. Next, we have the daily word. And this is Father's love. I bless those special ones who have shown me Father's love. A father's love is like no other. It gives me the warm feeling of protection and gentle guidance and inspires me to live up to its example. Father's love takes many forms. It might mean helping with homework, coaching sports, and teaching of all kinds. It might mean that the wise counsel and loving guidance that prepares children to be self-sufficient and ready for the freedom and responsibilities of adulthood. A father's love may come from many earthly sources. No matter who showed me this love, its origin was divine. God is at the heart of all fathers' love. I pray that all fathers and father figures feel the appreciation of those they teach, love, and protect. May they know the love of God as they have brought it into the world. And our Bible verse from Isaiah, fathers make known to children your faithfulness. And if everyone would repeat after me, I bless those special ones who have shown me Father's love. Everyone. I bless those special ones who have shown me Father's love. One more time. I bless who have shown me my Father's love. Everybody will stand. And let's sing. Love is my decision. It's up to me to give up my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to
to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. My decision right here and now. Yeah, great.
There you go. And announcements. We want to advise everyone that there will be no Reiki sessions available today after this service. It will be coming back several more weeks, and we're so sorry for any type of inconvenience this may have caused. And it's so exciting. Today at 4 o'clock, our musical director, Ian Krause, right here, will be performing in a show called Broadway Pride, which will be in the basement located in Jackson Ward. He's a musical director. You want to say something, Ian?
Yeah, so, sorry, I'm really bad at self-promoting sometimes. But yeah, so the basement is this theater venue that's downtown by 3rd Street. It's an amazing place. They put on great community theater productions. I have the privilege of working with Yes and RVA, a local theater company some of you may have seen Forrest and I participate with a lot. And they have a narrative series, and it's one of my favorite series to accompany for because it's actors in the Richmond theater community telling their stories. We've done women's voices in musical theater, black musical theater. This one is centric around pride and queer and LGBTQ+, and it's stories of how certain musical theater ties into their love, you know, of being queer and identifying that and being out. And it's great. Come support it. The actors and the singing is absolutely fantastic. It's at 4 o'clock. Tickets are $20. You can find them at Yes and RVA's website. If you have questions, just let me know, and I hope to see some of y'all there. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Ian. Fantastic. All right, Reverend Cheryl Fair has just. You still have time to sign up and purchase the book entitled The Eye of the Storm, which is the textbook for the class. It's available for purchase in our bookstore outside in the gathering space. All right, starting tomorrow, June 16th through July 29th, our own Barbara Hess will be teaching a new yoga philosophy course series online. The cost is $85 for all 6 weeks or $15 per session. You can please pre-register by emailing her at easeintomeditation@gmail.com. And if you've never taken any classes from Barbara, if you do, you're in for a treat. She's just wonderful. All right, on Sunday, June 29th after church, our fellow member Lori Walker will bless us with her talent for teaching. Please sign up in the gathering space online or at unityrva.org. It's called Brave Art. It's a meditative drawing and coloring brave art for everyone. And she invites everyone to come and explore how drawing a simple line relieves stress and can create amazing art. I don't know about you, but I could use that sometimes. see. Okay. If you guys don't know what satsang is, I hope I pronounced that correctly, and want to experience it with a real live monk, come to this class. It's coming up this coming Thursday, June 19th, for a soul cleansing meditative experience. And it is 6:30 to 8 Thursday, June the 19th, and it is here at Unity of Richmond. Suggested donations are $30, love offering, but no one will be turned away. And I believe we have a video. Okay.
There was a golden age long ago when everyone was living in this space, in the true human consciousness, and embraced, everyone lived in their heart. A beautiful age. That's what I want, to create a world, a new golden age. And maybe it begins with just little gatherings like this, where we're connecting to true spiritual energy, this which can illuminate such beauty within your being that you can't help but be good and be kind and be nice. You can't help it.
All right. So I'm sure that's going to be a wonderful evening, so I encourage everyone to come. All righty, and the last announcement, we're having our first gala dinner. The board is putting this on. You can join us for our annual 4th of July picnic. It is Friday, July 4th, and the cost is $15. Children under 8 eat for $5. It is starting at 6 p.m., and it will be finishing just in time for the fireworks. We have this every year, so this is a great place to park, actually, because it gets pretty crowded down there at the Dell. So we are having hamburgers, veggie burgers, hot dogs, fixins, dessert, lemonade, iced tea, and fruit punch. It is here. It's always a really popular event, so let's come on out. Again, this board is putting this on as the first gala. Okay, and we are proud to have Reverend Richard Mekdeci. Reverend Richard is a Unity minister and co-founder of Empower Music and Arts, whose purpose is to bring together conscious artists who want to use their music as a vehicle for positive worldwide change. He travels and performs with other artists in Posey Palooza concerts around the country, and we're so glad to have him here today. Going to do some music, going to have a message for us, so let's give him a big hand. Reverend Richard.
Got to get my words out, because this isn't one of my songs. It's one of a song a good friend of mine, Karen Taylor Good, wrote many years ago in 1999. In fact, I helped make the video for this song, so it's always been special to me. And it says a great message about fathers today and about men's roles in parenting, I think. I know that you've heard all your life, emotions make men weak. You must be brave, you must be strong. Tears are for the meek. And so you've held it all inside, like you were taught to do. But your soul feels like it's dying. It's time to tell the truth, that real men cry, real men feel, real men are not made of steel. Real men hurt in spite of what you've learned. Believe me, it's no lie. Real men cry. what you've been taught at school. Just be the things you are. A man of passion, fire, and dreams, who listens to his heart. A man who doesn't hide himself behind a wall of stone, and shows the world he's human, made of tears and flesh and bone. 'Cause real men cry, real men feel, real men are not made of steel. And real men hurt in spite of what you've learned. Believe me, it's no lie. Real men cry. After a lifetime of pretending what you knew was never true, you can write a brand new story. It's time to be the real you. Real men cry, real men feel, real men are not made of steel. Real men hurt in spite of what you've learned. Believe me, it's no lie. Real men cry.
It's very kind of you. I feel like such a coming home here. First, I want to thank your amazing music team, Gosh, Forrest and Ian. So professional, so humble for the amount of talent they bring to their work. You're very fortunate. Of course, Natasha, I've known for over 10 years when I moved here to work at the Unity Renaissance in Virginia Beach. Natasha was there 10 years ago. She was still the go-to girl for sound and tech, so you're very fortunate to have her. And of course, Reverend Bunch was our interim minister when my wife stepped down and we were looking for a new minister. Reverend Bunch stepped in for a year and a half and led us there. So I feel a great connection to this place and a lot of familiar faces. So it's great to be here. Today's the day to celebrate grandfathers, fathers, stepfathers, father figures, and in my humble opinion, I think single moms fall into the father figure category, and also maybe an older brother who had to take over and help mom after dad passed away or divorce. My father falls into that category too. So a dad was known to say after having his fourth child, "I have child-proofed my house from top to bottom, but to no avail. They still get in." I can feel that. Well, because I never had children of my own, I guess I would fall into the step-grandfather category, and I'm aspiring to be a father figure category. So, like most young men, I had plans to, get married and have kids, but I guess it just wasn't in the stars for me. And I still often, though, I wonder what kind of father I would have been. And the closest thing I've ever come to being a father was being a stepdad to my wife Paula's two wonderful children, Ben and Emily, who gave me my first Father's Day present. And this was less than a month after we were married. We were married the end of May, and the first Father's Day, I get this beautiful cup. It says, "Number one stepdad, happy first Father's Day, Richard, love, Emily, and Ben." Isn't that sweet? Really felt really felt loved by that, and kind of give me an idea of what it would be like to actually have children who adored you and respected you. But they were in high school then when they gave me that, and now Emily has a son and a daughter, 2.5 and 5, and Ben has a daughter, 7, going into 2nd grade. And when I watch the patience, God's patience in which these kids and their spouses manage their children, I think there is no way I could possibly have done that. No way. And Paula reminds me, she goes, well, you know, you're much older now, and it seems like a much more daunting task than it would have as you were young. I said, yeah, I guess so. She said, and you'd feel much differently if they were your own children. And I thought, yeah, I suppose that's right too, because I understand that there is no love like the love of a parent for a child. I mean, they literally share your DNA. They're imprinted on you and you on them. And you know, love for a child is said to be greater than love for yourself, and goes beyond love for your spouse, love for your parents and family, even for your beloved. A love that can cure us, mature us, a love that completes us. I don't know any parent who would not sacrifice themselves to save the lives of their children. And that's a love I may never know. I may never experience that until, of course, I transcend human love and, you know, and then I love everybody as my children. That would be great. But no one has ever relied on me for their very life. Being a single man most of my life and married without children, I wonder sometimes how that has affected how deeply I can relate to people, how patient I am with others, how willing I am to take responsibility for someone else in need. And I watch Ben and Rich, who's Emily's husband, and I watch the special skills that they have to learn to be a father, the patience, the alertness, the focus, the, you know, always having to pay attention. And I imagine how different life would have been if I'd have had those skills young in life. You know, I was kind of carefree, fancy-free in my youth, and in Nashville where I was sowing my oats, writing songs. And, you know, I never had to think about that. For instance, I know a lot of my friends, artists who would have to had to give up their careers in music and songwriting to support their families, because, you know, it's not always easy to support a family writing songs and stuff unless you're getting some cuts out there and you know, really being known. And so I never had to do that. It was never a decision I had to make. It was whether I had to leave my leave my songwriting and my music career in order to raise a family. And in some ways, I'm grateful for that. But you know, when I was going through tough times, I would just eat PB&Js and ramen noodles and stay home at night. I'd mooch off my friends, you know, till the next gig came along. I was very free to do whatever I wanted. If I was hungry, I would just go hungry. And if I was homeless, I would just sleep in my truck or buy a tent to go to a campground. You know, you can't do that if you're married. So these kind of stuff, or if you're a father. Now today, fatherhood, though, has changed. And I've noticed that in the millennials, Paula's kids, who are raising these 3 beautiful, beautiful grandchildren. And the idea of fatherhood has changed quite a bit since the days of my mom and dad. Here's mom and dad here. They're Eddie and Betty. This is them on their 60th wedding anniversary. Mom lived another 7-8 years, and dad lived a little, maybe 12 after this picture. But they were great parents. They were born in Adams, Massachusetts. They were the first generation in this country, came over from Lebanon. They called it the old country. And Dad lost his dad very early in life. So like I said earlier, he was left with his mom to raise his younger brother and his 2 older sisters. And he would do that by hustling pool. He was a great pool player, and by boxing at fight clubs. This is a little town in Massachusetts back in the 20s. And as a result, he was raised to believe that there's no more important job in the world than to provide for the family. And he did that very well. I have 2 older brothers. My oldest brother, Mike, he's 10 years older than me. He said that Dad was never out of work a day in his life, except one time when he got fired from the Berkshire Mills. They worked at up there in Adams. And he got fired for organizing a union. He was told, if you organize a union here, we're going to fire you. And he went ahead and did it anyway and got fired. And that loss of job resulted in us all moving, them all moving to Florida, Orlando. And that's where I was born. So I'm kind of the cracker of the, I say people, I was raised by wolves. I was raised by northerners down in the South. And people think I'm not from the South because I didn't have a Southern accent. They say, well, that's the wolves' fault. They didn't let me have a Southern accent. And that union stayed in place until 1985 when the mills closed. So yay, Dad. And so when Dad was younger, his left ear got infected and he had to have his whole inner ear removed. And this prevented him from going in to the service. And he was very disappointed in that. He wanted to make a career out of being in the service. And that probably would have changed our lives quite a bit as a family. And of course, made it a little easier on him because not having that option meant that he just had to find other ways for providing for us. And in the 50s, he worked for Gulf Life Insurance. He would go door to door and just collect pennies and dollars from people for their life insurance. He was a milkman, a woman's shoe salesman. We owned a little neighborhood grocery store for a while where I'd go in and sweep the floors and he'd give me a dime, I'd have to buy a slingshot. He was a gifted carpenter. He opened his own cabinet shop, which lasted about 3 or 4 years until they tripled his rent. And he even kept books at my junior high school for several years toward his retirement, the last few years toward his retirement. He was also the family barber, like a lot of dads, cut all 3 boys' hairs. So he provided for us financially, but he had pretty set ideas on men's and women's roles in the house. I never saw him cook a meal, except he would pop popcorn for us. And I don't know if he ever changed a diaper or made our lunches for school. We weren't huggers in our family, and I never once heard him say, I love you, to the kids. We were very close like that emotionally as far as our family went. We never played catch or went fishing or wrestled on the floor kind of thing. He was always very too busy. And they had their hands full with my older brother, Dennis, keeping him out of trouble. He was one of those kids, the middle brother. And so I had no curfew, no set bedtime. I basically kept to myself in my room, writing songs, practicing my trumpet, and doing my homework like a good boy, and staying out of trouble. So Mom and Dad didn't have to worry about me. I was like their little self-cleaning oven. They just set me and forget me. So not surprisingly, if I want an example of great fathering, I would probably not look to my parents, to my father, and that generation before me, and not really even to my generation, although my 2 brothers have kids and they're great dads. I would look to today's father and the generation after mine. Parents in their 30s and 40s. Are there any of those here today? Parents, millennial parents, maybe? Well, there's such a new paradigm for them. They reject their traditional roles as mother, father. In fact, a survey by the intelligence group found that more than 2/3 of millennials say that gender no longer affects or defines their destiny or their behavior as it once did. And that's 7 out of 10 who say that men and women no longer need to conform to traditional gender roles. And that's a good thing. That's really a little advanced consciousness that are sneaking in, and then they're passing that down to their kids. Both parents, sometimes on a daily basis, I see this when they visit us, they fulfill all the roles of mother and father. They're dropping off, they're both picking up, they both feed, they both bathe, they both shop, they both do the cooking, working and playing, all of it. And after 8 years of watching these young parents learn the ropes of parenting in the 21st century, I've come to be convinced that the names father and mother are just labels of roles that we play in the great musical, musical orchestra of life, and terms that are really fading into obsolescence. Instead of mother and father, for them, it's all just parenting. They're just parenting. So I asked both Rich and Ben what fatherhood means to them, and they were very kind enough to send me these very thoughtful and thorough answers. So here are some of the highlights. This here is Ben, He's age 40, and he's married to Riley. And that's Vivian, our 7-year-old, going into 2nd grade this year. And he says, being a father is the most important and most meaningful responsibility I will ever have in my lifetime. To me, being a dad or a mom affords you the opportunity to create, mold, and shape the best possible human. With each passing day, the journey with Vivian gets better, our conversations get deeper, we each learn more about each other, and above all else, we each laugh harder and have more fun. I wouldn't change a thing, and this is only the beginning. So he's very excited to be a dad. And then Rich, here's Rich with his two darling kids, Maya and Max, who's a real pistol, even at age 2.5. And Rich says, being a father means raising my children to be independent people who will have a positive impact on the people around them and the wider world they inhabit. It means being a supportive partner to my wife, Emily, to make sure we break out of traditional gender roles and have truly equitable division of labor when it comes to the kids and our home life. So it's been really a complete joy to watch these guys grow up and learn and experience the growth phases that they go through. The kids, seeing that, they're going to be walking, at 9 months. And man, in 9 months, those kids start walking. I'm like, wow, it's almost like alarm goes off. They're going to be talking at this age. Boom. And watching them go through all those terrible 2s and I guess terrible 3s too. I would probably be terrible 4s as far as Maxie goes. And but I love and care for those kids. Like they're my own. I mean, Vivian was the first child, baby I ever held, and I was dubbed at that time as Popster. So, because I didn't have an official grandfather name, like a Pawpaw or anything like that. So I became Popster, and I learned so much about being a better father figure by being around the grandchildren, not just the kids. So here's a list of 7 things I put together from watching these 2 sets of parents navigate parenthood in the 21st century. Things I've learned about fatherhood from Ben and Rich. And I would have to include Emily and Riley in this list too. When a child is pushing your buttons, keep loving them anyway. Never criticize your child for something they can't help. Well, that would, I think, go for all of us. Keep your cool when your child drops, spills, or missteps while exploring the world. Instead, take the journey of discovery with them. Take care of yourself. Practice self-care so you don't say things you don't mean or regret. I know when Emily or Riley get tired, or Ben, they say, I'm just going to go lay down now, take a nap. They really make sure that when they can tell, I guess from the kids, when kids get tired, they get very grumpy. And I think that's the same with the parents. When they start getting tired, they start getting grumpy, and they know enough to go take care of themselves. Instead of a flat no to a request, give them choices. Make either option one you can live with. So I love that. When they, do you want to do this? They said, then I say no. So well, you can either do this or you can do this. And then the kid gets to choose, and both of them turn out to have the same results. So it's a beautiful thing to watch. Find activities that will wear their little butts down so they'll take their naps and go to bed on time. Yeah, amen to that too. Remember them all, you send them to bed, and then a half hour later you hear their little feet coming down the steps, like, what are you doing up? And finally, of course, enjoy your children. They're really a joy to see them, that glint of discovery in their eyes. Everything is new to them. They're so easy to make laugh and smile, and it becomes the grandchildren's show for me when I just sit there and watch them. They don't let me, change the diapers. They don't leave the kids with me when they go out. It's always, I guess, Popster. They don't, but I just sit there and just watch them, and it's just so entertaining. It's great. So thank you, Ben and Rich. I'm looking forward to learning even more from you guys as your kids grow up, seeing how these little munchkins are going to change the world when they grow up, because I truly believe they will. And there are also spiritual rewards for woke parents. Yes, I said it. I said woke. Despite what you may have heard, it is a compliment. By breaking out of traditional gender roles, modern parents today are learning to express wholeness in their lives by balancing their masculine and feminine natures and passing that model along down to their kids, that model of wholeness down to their children, who are creating the next generation of woke parents. Jesus said in the Gospel of Thomas, many of you may have heard this, and in the Gospel of the Beloved Companion, not yet fully discovered manuscript that dates just to like 5 years after the crucifixion, written by Mary Magdalene. And the same passages in that manuscript. When you make the two into one, when you make the inner like the outer and the outer like the inner, when you make the upper like the lower, and when you make male and female into a single one, so that the male will not be male nor the female be female, only then shall you gain the kingdom. And I think he's not talking, about physically, but about balancing those two, the yin and the yang that lives within all of us. He was teaching us that both of our divine masculine and the divine feminine are present in us, and that learning to express that is how we gain access to that wholeness that opens our hearts, that wholeness that doesn't judge others as much, and that just feels more acceptance for others that are different from you. The divine masculine is that outer directed creative energy. This is Charles Fillmore. It's fueled by intelligence, power, and strength from within, but it's not a warrior energy, not a killer, but a guardian energy. And the divine feminine is a complementary and integral presence. It's the nurturing and life-affirming energy within us. So when we learn how to embrace and express both, we become spiritually whole. And Jesus said, only then shall you gain the kingdom. So Ben's daughter, Vivian, like I said, first baby I held. And but still, I've never had to change a diaper. I've never burped a baby or get thrown up or peed on. So that's good. I never had to worry about paying for college or the best daycare, getting up in the middle of the night to comfort a crying baby or even buy a stroller or car seat. But I also have never passed along my love for money. I meant love for money. You have a love for money. I meant love for music. Never passed along my eyes, my hair, my love for music. And no one else on the planet has my DNA, and I guess that kind of relished the fact that I'm literally one of a kind at this point on the planet. I understand today that both my mom and dad were doing the very best they could with what they had to work with. Growing up, I thought my dad was great. My two older brothers have a very different story to tell about dad. And it's like we had two different dads, and somehow after two kids, maybe my mom tamed him down, but I thought my dad was great. I was never afraid of him. He never struck me. He rarely even raised his voice to me. He hardly ever objected to anything I asked to do. I'm moving to Nashville. Okay, good luck. I may not have gotten a lot of fatherly advice from him, but I knew he really loved me. I knew deep down under that stoic surface, there was a genuine love for mom and us three boys. And I'm looking forward to creating a lot of precious memories and learning more and more how to be a better popster in the life of those grandkids. And in the process, as I learn to change diapers and soothe bumps and scrapes and provide and nurture, I hope myself to find some of that balance and wholeness in my own life. So take today to reflect, remember, honor your fathers, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But mainly today, honor those qualities of fatherhood that we all have within us. Don't be afraid to walk up to a mom today and say, Happy Father's Day. And to seek that balance between the masculine and the feminine, the yin and the yang, our nurturing and our reasoning natures, between the mother in you and the father in you. Now let's turn to a little time of meditation. So get in those comfortable positions where we have our feet grounded on the floor, our back backs against the back of our chair where we can sit up straight and just be focused. And as we take a deep breath together, breathe that big breath in. And as we exhale together, let's picture our breaths just mingling in this room, bringing us together and connected with that beautiful energy. We know that God is all there is. So God is there beside you, in you, around you right now. As you take another breath together and exhale, just consider the qualities of fatherhood. Protective, playful, courageous, provider, trustworthy. Take a breath, and as you exhale this next breath, consider those qualities in you. Protective, playful, courageous, a provider, trustworthy. Now consider the qualities of motherhood. Nurturing, patience, empathetic, resourceful, forgiving. Now consider those qualities in you. And as we enter into a few moments of silence together, just breathe deeply. Follow that breath through your nostrils down into the part of you that is perfect and divine, down into your heart space. Just breathe into your heart and just consider for a moment or two that wholeness, that balance of masculine and feminine that are your nature. Today we give thanks for those in our lives who display and demonstrate the qualities of fatherhood. We give ourselves permission to express our full divine nature, which is masculine and feminine. You are made in the image and likeness of the creative energy that brought all we see into being. And as we open our eyes, take another deep breath and let's say together, today I express my wholeness. Together, today I express my wholeness. Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much, Richard. It's wonderful. All right. Could we have our ushers come forth, please? All right. Thank you, ushers. All right. Let's have our prosperity blessing. Divine love adds me, blesses, and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I am grateful.
All right. Me and Forrester are going to rock it here with a little song I wrote, being so appreciative of what I've been able to do with my life and how music has played that role and how I've been able to do what I do best for most of my life. I know a lot of you people, who's retired? Yeah, do you feel like you were doing what you do best when you were working, doing your job? It's a great feeling. Yeah, Shay. Amen. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is how I want to spend my time. This
This is how I want to spend my time. This is how I want to spend my time. Doing what I do best. I'm doing what I do best. If I live in it gets me high, and if I'm not just getting by, if I'm passing every test, I must be doing what I do best. Oh, this is how I wanna live my life. This is how I wanna live my life. This is how I'm gonna live my life. Doing what I do best. Doing what I do best. Well, if I never get the blues, and life seems too good to be true, if the answer is always yes, I must be doing what I do best. Oh, this is how I'm gonna pass my days. This is how I wanna pass my days. This is how I wanna pass my days. Doing what I do best. Doing what I do best. Well, if this is what I wanna be, and if I do it all for free, if I never wanna rest, guess what? I must be doing what I do best. Oh, this is how I'm gonna live my life. That's it. This is how I wanna live my life. This is how I want you to live your life. Doing what I do best. This is how I'm gonna pass my days. This is how I wanna pass my days. This is how I'm gonna pass all my days. Just doing what I do best. I'm doing what I do best. Doing what I do best. I'm doing what I do best.
Wow. Thank you, Richard. All right. Whew. All right, we got our ushers here. Okay. Let's all repeat. Blessing our funds. We give thanks for the gifts that will support our mission of creating a spiritually awakened world. Right. Do we know if we have any kids? No. Okay. All right. I guess not. Okay. All right. All right. Thank yous. Wow. We want to thank our terrific music team, of course, Forrest and Ian. And part of our music team today, Reverend Richard. We want to thank you. And thank you for your wonderful, inspiring talk. I'm a stepdad myself, so I could really relate. Thank you. Let's see, audio, visual folks in the back. We got Natasha. We always count on her. We got Bernice. All right, we do have prayer chaplains. Our prayer chaplains are going to be here to pray for you. Here comes one right now. Junius. All right. And let's see who else. Debbie, thank you for keeping the place so lovely. And did I miss anybody?
Thanks, Armand.
No. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. All right. All right. Wait a minute. We do have someone here. We have a kid.
Good morning. This is Sunny, and we have fun playing. I made as much mess as she did. Right? Did I make a big mess? Yes, I did. You want to talk? Hey! We play with Play-Doh, right? Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday to everybody! Happy birthday to you!
That's awesome. Thank you, Vicki. All right, let's have our prayer of protection to close things out here and our peace song. So everybody will stand and repeat after me, or with me, the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Yes, it is.